All right, welcome back, everybody. I just want to lighten my. Hopefully, that's good. I have a leg, so if you put anything in chat, sometimes it takes a little bit for me to see it. Let's see. There. It's a little better. Wow, I got a really bad leg tonight. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to be doing a really cute little, where did I put it? A little scene painting, and it's coming from my December ephemera collection that I put out for all the members on here on YouTube and Patreon. And it's for all levels, so $2 a month you get a pack. And I'll probably be doing more of these each month, depending on what you guys think. So let me know what you're looking for or what you'd like to see, that type of thing. So this is what we're doing, and this came out of this pack. So this is about Christmas, basically. And these are all licensed by me, so you're able to use them. So I thought we would do some acrylics tonight. This could be done in watercolor too. And I'm going to be putting it in this is a folder journal that I've been working on for this past year. I haven't done a whole lot in it though. And because I've been working on small canvases, as you know. And well, I just like making these little journals to fit my artwork in, and they're just tacked in, so if I should want to take them out or somebody wants to buy them, they're easy enough to remove. So that was, I think it's all Chronicle, but I should have put a paper behind that, but it didn't do anything. So these are the ones I've done in the past year. It's always fun going back through your stuff to see, what kind of stuff you did. You forget, and these I haven't put in yet. I find it easier to put them together after. Let's see what else we got here. We have a fox, flowers, and it's just made up out of the file folder that you would get in the dollar store or an office depot type of place. So we're going to do one on this. Put these aside. And the first thing I want to do is gesso this. So I just use Liquitex. Any gesso is really okay. I'm not really fussy with gesso. So whatever you've got is good, probably. I'm just going to use this bigger brush here. I should be okay with just one coat on this paper. And the reason why I like using these envelopes, or not envelopes, file folders, they're very sturdy. Um, they're almost the same weight as a 140-pound watercolor. They don't curl, and it takes a lot of water without pilling. Like I said, doesn't curl on you when you have all this water on it. And it doesn't leak through to the other side, which is nice. So we'll be just get back to using these, I think. I do like using them. And too, if any of you are just starting out in your painting journey, this is a really great way to start with learning how to paint with acrylics, because you're not worried about messing up a canvas. So, and just buy some cheapies too. You could even reuse ones you already have and just put gesso on them. Hey, Devin, Kim. Devin, have you got snow yet? Devin lives in Alberta. I can't believe she has no snow and it's December. Usually they've had a few storms by now. I'm gonna roll my sleeves up because I do get my sleeves and stuff. So I'm just gonna dry this. You want it dry before you start. I can still see a bit of that writing, but that doesn't bother me. It'll be covered up with more layers once you get painting. But you do want to make sure you dry this main layer. And the gesso is a layer that is pretty much a must do when you're working on paper, especially with acrylic, because it helps your paintbrush glide across the paper. When you're working on just plain paper, you'll find that your brush is kind of drags. It kind of clings to the paper. It doesn't go on nice. Yes, we got a significant snow last night. I posted a photo of Lucy on our wall. Coco is all back to normal. So I don't know. They thought it was a slip disc, but I'm wondering if she dislocated her front shoulder, because her back legs were fine. It was just the front, and she didn't want to raise her head. But she's all back to normal, barking at everything and running around like a crazy girl. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're part of your family, right? So when they get hurt or sick, it's very hard on you. Just a little bit. If your page starts to curl when you're drawing, that's just an indication that your paper is still wet. So when it starts to dry, it kind of curls on the edges. But if you just turn it over and heat that area with your heat gun, it'll automatically lay flat. Yeah, it's curling there. A little bit. And you just, it's like magic. All right, that should do it. Thanks, Kim. Yeah. Your puppies. They're your fur babies. Mean a lot to you. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So it should fit it on here pretty well. And it's a monotone, monochromatic painting again. So it's not really a white in some areas. It's kind of a little bit on the cream side, I guess, or a little bit on the yellow, soft yellow. And then we do have a real dark. I'm going to be doing all this stuff with pen, I think. I like using pen on top of acrylic. It works really well. All right, so we definitely are going to need white. So I'm just using up my leftovers here. This is titanium white by Chroma 2, and this is a really good paint. I have really enjoyed this paint. Not sure how easy it is to get in Canada and the US. I got these when a friend of mine had a craft store. And let's see. I do have phthalo blue. That might be a little bit. Let's see what else I got here. Turquoise. Yeah, we could probably change it up a bit. I'm going to squirt this one out and we'll see what we can do with it. And this one is Atelier, and it's also a really nice paint. This is the interactive one, so you could be done your painting and decide there's something on it that you don't like and you'd like to take it out. There's an additive that you can put on top with a paintbrush on those areas, and it'll reactivate the acrylic and you can take it off. It's really cool. I think you can get those in the States. Maybe here. I'm not sure about here. Canada is kind of lacking in the. We don't have a whole lot of big chain like Blick and stuff like that. I'm just going to test this out. So I like to get a little piece of paper here. Heavens. And just see what the color's like. So it's a very vibrant, a little too vibrant. So what you can do to calm that down is either add a little bit of black or the opposite, which would be kind of on the red side. Then it will desaturate that color from being so crazy red or crazy blue. Yeah, it's a real drag. You know, you see all these Americans with their halls and beautiful stuff, and nope, not in Canada. I guess our population isn't all that great. So let's see what this color. See, if I added red, see how you kind of desaturate that a little bit? It's a little darker, but it's not quite as bright. Now, if you put blue or black, let's put some black over here. See what it does. Now you can use craft paint too. A lot of these I use craft paint because you don't get your sticking the pages together when you have the craft paint, because craft paint dries matte finish. So let's see. We'll see what we can get with just a tad black in there. I don't know. Still not quite what I want. I might have to go upstairs and get my color I want. Although I did put that out. I think I'm going to use red. Red to desaturate. All right. So let's get a palette knife instead of using my. Just take some red, mix it in this blue. Oh, that's funny. It's almost very interesting. It's almost slimy when you mix that red in there, but they don't mix well. Learn something every day. Now, what I'm going to do before I get too carried away is I want to put in some of these areas that I want to keep. And just thinking, what do I want to do first? No, I want to. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was looking for one of my transfer papers. I'm just going to put it down here. I like to put a little bit of tape on so it doesn't move. Kathy, is this one of your AI creation? Yeah, it is. It's in the pack that you downloaded for December ephemera. It's in, well, I think in the back page. So you can play along if you want. The fear of missing art supplies. Yep. About it. And what I like to do is get a pen, usually. Let's see if this works. Yep. And usually a different color so I can see where I've already drawn. These I think it's a curtain, but I could be wrong. You could make it into a tree. You could make it into whatever you want, really. Kind of like a little elf or fairyland Christmas scene. So I just want to indicate where some of these things are. And then we have all this snow bunched up the side here. I guess the elves were busy shoveling. If they were shoveling, what would they be using? These are the things that go through my head. I like making stories out of a lot of my paintings. Usually have a story in my head for it. So I'm going to put in this little house here, or the bigger one, I guess. And it goes down here. And it's got all kinds of snow on it. And I'm just putting kind of a general outline, nothing precise. This is just a reference, so you can change it up to whatever you want. But I thought it was kind of cute. And then a cute little oval door. And then steps. And let's see, there's another window there. Well, we don't have to put bricks and stuff in yet because we're going to put a base coat on this. So that would be just a waste of time if you were to put all the detail in. So don't get carried away with too much in the tracing. And you got to think layers. That's how we paint, is in layers. So only draw in what you would have in the first layer. So I know that's going to be there. I'm just going to paint in this area all one color to start. And then I might have to come in and put this in again. I guess we could put this in too. These are little wee tiny houses. They're miniature houses. So maybe they're little cousins that are 2 inches tall. Live in these ones. We can put the lanterns in after. Actually, probably these can go in later. Yeah. As long as I know where these bigger houses are going. That's another little house there, right there. Couple houses, I guess. One's behind the other. Right? So that's all you need for that. Pink looks cool. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to see, and also let me know what you would like to see. that gives me, I have my own personal likes. So it's always good to get input on what other people are using in their, what do you call it? Creative daily, I guess, where you do everything, write, draw, sketch, paint, ideas, that type of thing. All right. So let's test this goopy stuff out. See if it's going to be any good. Hopefully it will. Yeah, it'll work. Okay. I want a little bit of a sticker brush. Okay. And I'm going to put the first layer on. Put it out here so you can see it. First layer, probably we'll do the inside here. And we're going to mostly this blue color. But I want it yeah, I guess that's the darkest area. So I'm just going to go around like this. Add a little bit of white here and there. And really the tree itself is almost the same color. It's just more or less highlighted. So I could actually just go over this whole area, except for the houses. And then make it easier on myself. Put some black here and there. No, I didn't. Okay. Thought I went over my houses, but I didn't. This is very different. It's so funny. Last 60 days I've been painting on mini canvases. So to go back to paper, it's odd. It feels odd. It's funny. I want kind of a patchy looking sky. Let's see. I want to keep that house in there so I know where it is. We're just kind of giving an abstract background for the sky. Show you in a minute why. And these file folders are so great because if you're not sure how to paint something, so you're doing it for the first time and you really have no idea what the outcome will be like. It's so great to do them on these because you figure out all your little techniques before you venture with a great big painting. Those paintings can be scary. I'm going to put a little bit of glazing liquid. It's a little bit dragging on my paper, even though I got that gesso. You don't need a lot on your brush when you use this. This is liquid glazing satin. But it does help move your paint and it doesn't it glides, I guess you could say, a little better. Okay. And there is an area there. I think I might just paint this in too, because those houses are kind of dark. And then I'll just use a white graphite traceable paper to put in those areas. Okay, and then we have some really dark areas. All right, so this is the start. So you can see the dark and the light. So once this is dry, we'll do kind of clouds. Now this is lighter, so we can actually use some white in that mix now. So I'm gonna maybe a little bit more there. That's better. So a little darker on the inside here by the edge of the painting. And then it does have a bit of, what do you call it? Nap. Your it's my sewing days. Let's put a little bit of black in there too. A little bit of glazing liquid. There we go. This makes a whole lot easier. And then a little more white on the edge here. And there's a pattern on this. I think it must be a drape or something. A little bit of glazing. I want these light areas from the background to be covered. All right. This here would be lighter, a bit more white. There's actually a lamp post there, so a little bit more light there. Okay, and then do the same on the other side. A little dark. Oh, need more paint. Where did I put it? Oh, more paint. A little red, a little blue, a little black. Very loose painting too. It's all make believe. It's all fantasy. So I'm not worried about having it look exactly like what's in the picture. A little bit of this in here, darker in the corners. And you can always change things up if you don't like something in it. It's just a reference photo, so change it up to how you want it. I'm just going to bring it out along the edge here. It does get fairly bright in here though. So let's put a little bit of white on top. You can always put the lines in once this dries too. But down here, maybe we'll put this in. This would be lighter. This is kind of the snow area, so that could be lighter. And just have fun with it. This is actually fairly light, so I'm going to get more white than anything else. A little bit of glazing liquid. Just go over that. More white. Now, the one thing about glazing liquid you have to remember is it does take a little longer to dry. That. And this here can be lighter. What's this here? Ooh, got some red. So it kind of sweeps like a curtain. Like that. And this is just a base coat. I always call this coat the ugly coat because your painting looks horrid for a while. So don't give up. Okay, let's give that a dry. So how many of you kind of put crafting or art, painting, whatever it is you do, kind of to the side a little because of how crazy December can be? I think a lot of people, once all the holiday Christmas stuff's done and everybody's back to normal and kids go back to school in January, and that's when everyone starts thinking of stuff to do, I think. That is with me. I find December very chaotic sometimes. Um, Planning things, who's having what, who's having the dinner, who's all that stuff can get crazy. I try not to. My December is pretty chill since the boys are. Oh yes. Will, will they be coming home though for Christmas, or are they too far away? All right. So far away. Knock on wood. So far, anyhow. Oh, they live with you. Oh, okay, but they're just busy with studying and stuff. Yeah. All right. I'm going to put the clouds in next. So I'm going to use that phthalo blue and a little bit of a stiffer brush. Let's see. Usually I like this one, a bristle brush, something stiff. When I make clouds, I like to have them dissipate. Let's see how this will go on first, though. So they're kind of a little weird looking clouds, but that's okay. Nighttime. I'm just going to dab some of this in. So I like to just go in circles and keep doing it until all the paint kind of wears off my brush. That's how I usually do clouds. Now, mind you, this one is not the typical cloud you would see, but it does have that softness look. No, it's not really showing a whole lot on there. So I'm going to add a little bit of white and see what we get. Ooh, that really brightens it up, though. Nope, I don't want that. Let's see. I just want a little bit of difference in the cloud, but you're not seeing it too much because of the... I might have to just do a... I'm really testing my skills here because I'm working in a color that I don't typically work with. Phthalo blue I don't typically use, so this could be really interesting, you guys. We'll see. Because what I'm looking at is not that color. So, and I can't put a white with it because it turns it too chromatic. Let's see if I put a little black. This is how I play and experiment too. So you guys aren't alone when, you know, not all paintings turn out. Let's see what this makes up. I might be able to figure some color out. Let's see. Take some of that off. See if that's, well, that's a little better. You can see that a little bit. I think you guys can see it. I just want a little poofies, but they're soft looking. So I added a little bit of black to that phthalo blue, and then just a tad of white. Kind of fake looking clouds here, but we're going to play with it. You can always go back in and add another color too, like more black in there. But it's pretty simple looking. I don't know if you can see that. Just nothing crazy. Kind of ugly looking, actually. I can say that. Okay. Now, if I can find my white tracing paper. Not there. I have to get a roll out. This is the tracing paper that I use. I like it. The white especially because it's so easy to see. It comes in a roll, so you just cut what you want. And each piece lasts over and over. You don't throw the piece out after using it. Because you can use these for many, many paintings. That's dry. Which side? I always have a hard time with what side it is, though. Yes. It's this side. Test it before you. I've done a whole drawing and then lifted it and found out that it wasn't even on the right side. Very frustrating when you do that. Now, where did I put the... Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay. Now, just have to figure out, make sure my... There. Maybe over just a smidge. That should do it. All right. So all I'm going to do is put in these trees over top of that dark. That way I'll know where to put all of these. And buildings. So these are kind of, I don't know. I guess I could put the stems in too, so I know what they are. And that there's part of the tree. That's where the ties to the curtains are. And now I can put these little thingies in. So now I don't have to put them all in like this here. That's one thing about AI. You'll get things in it that make no sense. Like you'll have, especially people, you'll have 6 fingers or no thumb and 5 fingers and stuff like that. So it does have, unless you really know how to give the proper prompts for it, like there is a learning curve, definitely. But it is so fun to use. So you can just make up all kinds of stuff and it'll print it out, or not print it out, but it'll throw it out for you and you can say you like it or not. Here's some more trees with bits and pieces of snow clinging to it. I'm just going to put those in so I know where they are. They're kind of funny looking trees. Kind of like whimsical trees. You can make those up for like all kinds of ways. You don't have to have all the stems on them. You can do all kinds of different types of trees that look whimsical. See, this one's kind of wonky, this house here. So I'm gonna I'm just going to make a little house there, I think, with windows here. Like I said, these are references, so make them the way you want. A little house there. Windows here. And I'm going to put this lamp post in. That and all this stuff. It's really difficult to see exactly what it is. So you can take some of that out. I'm going to put these, I guess it's snow piles. They kind of look like rocks. You could make this into another type of scene. Doesn't have to be winter. These could be rocks. Same with this here. And this will give me a pattern that I can follow where everything is. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put these in. Along the house. Bushes that are covered in snow. And these here can be put into. So just have fun with it. You could probably use a lot of your Poscas, if you have Poscas, to do a lot of these highlights on these snow thingies. I think that's all I need. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it for that. So we'll just take that off. Over there. Gotta feed hubby. Okay. A bit hard to see on camera, but I am sure we will see it more once more is added. Let's see if I can lighten it a little bit. Go into StreamYard. See what I can do. I don't want to whiten it out too much, so then it gets. Let's see, is that better? Now there is a little bit of dust from that. That's the only thing about Sorel is it does transfer if you put your fingers down, but it's easy enough to wipe up. Just get a baby wipe or a brush, a wet brush, and it'll come off. You can wait till you're done your painting too. All right, so let's do the little houses and stuff now. We're gonna probably stick with the same colors we have. So I got enough of that. I need some more white though. I'm just gonna put clean white over here. Like that. And I am going to use a smaller brush, probably. I like using angle. So this is a angled shader by Princeton. It's got a nice angle on it. We're going to get into this light blue again. So I can actually just put some more white in here with a little bit of glazing medium. And let's put in, we're not putting in snow yet. We're still just, this time we're base coating these little houses. So use a paintbrush that you're comfortable with. You don't have to use a flat. You could use a round. These are fairly small. I would suggest not going too big, but I'm going to paint around stuff. I'm going to add a little bit of dark on the bottom here. Actually, I'm going to get a little bit of that blue. Bring it up. And then just blend it in. That. A little bit of a some type of tower. These are just base coats, remember. So don't get too fussy with them. And this little house here, it's going to basically be very similar to this color too. Most of the houses will. And then it'll be the snow that gives everything definition. It'll kind of look funny for a while. And that's what I find with a lot of acrylic paintings is because you're putting in that base coat, your stuff will look a little odd till you get into the finer details. A little bit of white in the top part here where the snow on the roof would be. Just sweeping it down into that darker color. I'm basically painting on my paper. I'm not mixing on the side much. More done on the painting itself. And then a little bit this again. This is a little lighter because it's up front. And just bring it down around those bushes. And then a little bit more white. Actually, a little more. Want to distinguish the roof from the house. It's got snow on it, but we'll put that on later. That's that curtain, so we'll fix that up too. Let's see. And then a little bit of this on the road. This one would probably be a really good one for watercolor also. If you like doing watercolor, might give that one a try. Only a couple colors. Now, those trees are actually fairly dark. I'm gonna have to paint over those stems again. Some of it shows through, so it saves me a little bit of work. But it is fairly dark in these, but not black. It's more blue. Just play. I know it looks kind of weird, but it'll get there. I promise. Just takes time. Okay. The roof is a little bit darker than the siding. So let's put this in. A little bit of this. It's got a little bit of white going on the top part here. That. A little white on the one side here. And right here, a little whiter. And then let's outline this here. The snow is piling up on the eaves and stuff. Good. Too much water. Houses behind here are a little bit darker. Sorry, I'm quiet. This is the only thing about doing lives is I concentrate on what I'm doing, and then like your words aren't manageable when you're painting. It's very difficult. I don't know. If you haven't done a video or a live, you probably won't get it. It is very difficult to, because you're using a different part of your brain too. It doesn't cooperate with the creative side. We trust you can. You have faith. I'm gonna put a lot of white in this area because the main one is. Let's see if this is. Yeah, it's not bad. Maybe a little bit more though. It does have boards type of thing. Siding, I guess. And we'll put that in with pen. But we do want it kind of going in the direction because we're seeing the brush marks. So when you do that, you kind of want to keep it in the direction that the siding would be going, or it might look kind of weird, especially if it's a little bit on the streaky side, the paint. So just think of your directional patterns that are on the reference. Sometimes it works really well for your painting because it almost paints itself because of the streaking and stuff. There's actually a little bit of a light patch there. So just blend it in a little bit like that. Maybe a smidge. And right in here. Like that. All right. And then this is actually part of a house, I think. I'm just going to blue it up a little bit. And we can decide what to do with it later. End up being a tree, who knows? I think this can be darker. And under the eave. Darker. We'll put some windows in here too. Like that. It looks kind of too bright now. There. See how that looks now. Stream brain is real. Yeah, that's right. It is. You can't help it either. No matter what you do, you just it's just not there. So there's bits of piled snow, it looks like, on these trees. So I'll put highlights on too. We're just going to kind of throw on some of this blue, medium color blue, and then we'll put a highlight and a shadow on too. And that'll kind of help us with it. But like I said, ugly stage. Don't fret. It does get better. You know, well, and I can understand why beginners, when they get to this point, they give up. I can understand that because they don't know what the next steps are. So unless you've painted and know what to expect, it's very difficult for a beginner to look at something like this and say, oh, it's going to be beautiful. Because it doesn't look beautiful right now. I think this needs to be a little lighter. It can look darn awful. Good, good, good. Let's see, I'm going to lighten this area up a little bit, just with white. It's kind of around. And we might put a glaze of ochre or something over top. I do want this to be a little bit lighter in this area. But here. And then the little bushes, we gotta put those in too. A little bit more on the different blue side. It can be just a very, very small difference in color. Doesn't have to be much, but just so that you're able to tell where things are. So you know that that's the bush area. Then you can fill it in with your highlights and shading. Same with this one here, where all those little bits of snow piles up. I'm going to make that a little different color though. I can see it a little bit better. These are all little snow piles, I guess. Same with here, little snow piles. Make them a little bit lighter. And you could use a smaller brush if you want. Make them a bit lighter so I know what they are. That. Once we get the pen work in, it'll look better. Good. So that's pretty much just the little houses on the top there need a roof, but that's pretty much all the base coat we need. And then we can play with the details. Fun part. These, I like details, so that's my go-to. Love playing with it. It just seems to come alive then. Everything, it's like magic, just shows up. Okay. Everything gets its proper look. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of, let's see what I got here. That's yellow. Just a little bit of yellow on my palette here, just for the tree or the windows. No, it's got over. And actually, that not much of a, just a little bit added to white. This door here. A little bit more in the windows just to brighten them up. That one. And I had one there. Another one here. And a little one right there. That, well, there was a square one up there, but I think I'm going to leave it out. All right, so we have those in. And the light here, I'm just going to put this color in. Kind of in a, we'll probably come back and brighten it up, but kind of a glowy area right there. And I don't think I'm going to put, there was one over here and I think one over here, but I don't think I'm going to put those in. Okay. Now the snow area is got some of this color in too, and it's kind of like puddles. Some areas is a little bit thicker. You can always come back and add more, or maybe add some darker blue to it. Like that. Just play. I think it does come a little ways up there too. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in it. Kind of like a little pathway going through. Make up whatever you want on yours. We'll put a little bit on the roof here. And I think right in here. And just blend it with a little bit of blending medium on my brush. Blend that in a little bit. Oops. No. Moved it too soon. Blue, white. Kind of like a tree there, but I want it softer looking. All right, let's see. Some of these in here can be darker. Goes up into there, I think. Yeah. All right, that looks good. I think I want a little more of that yellowy white in the top part of that curtain. So kind of in here. I guess I could put that in by itself. I'm thinking of the lines, the folds. I think I'm going to put this in first because it's easier. And this has to be a little lighter. And this here. And just take a brush and just walk it out a little bit. Like that. Nope, I'm out of frame. Sorry, guys. Okay, this side's brighter too. So same bright yellowish type of color. a little bit stronger on the edge. That. And then strong edge on the top here. And then just kind of walk it out a bit. A little bit of water in my brush, or you could use a satin glazing medium too. Just to move it around a little bit. Okay. And a little bit of that in here. There's these little, oh, too much water in my brush. It's so bad for that. A bit of a folds or strings, whatever they are, holding back the curtain. You are very good at explaining the ugly stages and reassuring us that is just one reason why your tutorial. Oh, thanks, Devin. That means a lot. This could even be like looking at a village from under a bridge. Yeah, it could. Yep. Well, I know I can remember when I many moons ago started painting, and when you don't know what to expect, it's very hard to get excited about the stage, because you're expecting things with each stroke. Oh, this is going to be this, and not realizing there's many steps before you get that look. So yeah, it can be a little bit disheartening, because you're hoping for something and it's not turning out. And I do know a lot of people that just gave up because it wasn't turning out the way they wanted right away. And it doesn't matter how good you are, a lot of your paintings aren't going to work out. I would say more than half don't, or something's wrong in them, and you just you gotta fight through it, I guess, and just keep telling yourself that it's an ugly stage. It's an ugly stage. Because it is very disheartening. All right, so there's windows there. But you got to think when you're starting doing this, you got to think there's layers. Don't think of stuff in one layer. You're going to have it down. You're not. All about layers. Same with, well, a lot of you are colorists too. And that's the same thing that applies to that. There's all in layers. Oh, where's my scrubby brush? A small one. I want something stiff. Where did they go? I have a bunch of them. Not like I don't have enough. Oh, there's one. Okay. This is a blender. 1/4 inch blender brush, so it's fairly stiff, kind of bristle type. And I like to damage them to get them a little bit not as tapered, I guess. I'm going to get a little bit of this blue color here. Not much on my brush, very little. And we're going to soften some of these. Oh, that one's still wet. So I'm taking it up. Let's see. What can we do? Well, we'll do this part. Just by going around in a circle. Again, kind of like the cloud thing. Just to soften some of those areas up. Just gives it a little bit of a softer look. So we would have a lighter area on the top. That's where the moon or lights from the windows would be glistening down on it. Just along the edge here too. And then along here, more white. I'm not going to blend it in as much because this is the brightest side. So this side, probably the moon, I'll put a moon in here. So you're going to get more bright snow. Those are still wet. It's dry. A little bit in here too. So put it on the bright side. And we'll come back in and also put a bunch of pen work in. Blue. This one here, I'm going to put a bit softer. I don't want those lines in there, so just scumble just to soften those areas. All right, let's do some of these trees. Let's put a little bit of white on the tip of your brush and just actually I'm going to clean that blue on it. Just want white, basically. And I think I'm going to have to use a smaller brush. Let's just soften this up. color. Here. They're almost like rocks. Rocks. Nope, I'm gonna have to do it with a small brush, I think. All right. So let's see. Let's get I'll just get this round. It's a number 2. I'm just going to use white. So you can go around the tops of those snow heaps. And we can put shadows into. Start off with this. Put the little snow. Maybe it's snowballs. Maybe they were getting ready for a snowball fight. All stacked up snowballs. That sounds good. Sounds something like Elf would do. Let's see. So right across here. And then there's a little bit going down there. This is kind of in shadow. Right there. And then maybe we can get this filled in. A little bit. Some black with that. Nope, it's too dark. Let's bring it up into the other. And a bit of white. So these are kind of some sort of pine or spruce. They're just reflecting that bright light. More or less on one side because it's catching the light of the moon. And then right in here, on here. And I'm going to bring it down just a bit. Too much water on the brush. While it's wet, bring it down into the snow a little down there. Just so that that's lighter. There's no hard edge on it. And top of this house too. Have that bright white. Just along the edge. Right there. Make this a little brighter. You could take a Posca too and use that if you wanted to. I know a lot of you have Poscas. They make great doodling, and so maybe you'll use them. Right? What else? I gotta make my lid to my lamp post and my lamp. There it is. So this is just black. And then we'll put highlights on it. So that it has this little ring on the bottom. And that, and that. So it's basically shining through that ring. And there's this little doohickey on the bottom here. And then we can put a little highlight, so a little bit of that with a little gray. Right on the bottom. Oh, a bit more. Like that. Like that. And then there's this little thing on the top. Okay, that's not bad. I guess we should put a little bit of that gray in where the steps are. So kind of on the riser of the step. Oh, I covered those little thingies. I'll have to put them back in. This, this, this. More. Okay. Just putting some marks in here where those bushes were supposed to be. So I covered them up by accident. So we'll just put a few in, and then we'll put the highlights back in them. Here too. That. Yeah. Okay. Have a good dinner. Okay. Now, just make a few highlights in here. And here, here, a little bit. These are just highlights for the little covered bushes. And we can put also in some in shadows too. We need those highlights in. Cute. All right. So, yeah, I guess we could do shadows. So shadows are just going to be a little bit of this black in this mix, a little darker, maybe a little more blue also. Let's see. Basically, around the bottom areas. Not too worried about having it, crazy detailed. Just do what you can. I know there's shadows along the bottom because the bushes would be casting that shadow from the loads of snow that's in there. Might be a little bit in there and around in here. Probably some. Let's go like that. It's very, very simplistic, but it's cute. All right, and let's see what else. I think the rest I'm going to do probably in I'm just going to fill that in there. A little bit of dark. If that's too bright right there. So we'll just put a little bit of a darker glaze on top. That would be a little darker. And maybe on this side too. Underneath. Just on the one side, basically, of the tree. So it would be darker. Shadows. Okay. Also, we'd have a little bit of shadow under the windows. Like that. And I'll put some on the door here. Maybe on the one side. Like that. Same with the windows. I'm going to just put a little bit of a shadow on one side of the window. And then under the eave also would be shadowed. Oh, too much. Just going to bring it down a little bit in here, just on the side. That's cute. All right, and then let's dry that and we'll get our pen out. All right, I just saw something. Over here, I want a little bit more integrated into that. So I'm going to bring this color kind of glazed in a little bit here. Same with here. So just play. Glazing, it's fun. Try it. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's, I'm not fussy with that. Okay. That bugs me. Let's see what we can do here. take maybe, yeah, a little bit of that. I'm going to take it in like that. I don't rather have that than not covering that. Yeah. I think I'm going to put some of that in here too. Make snap decisions to fix things. How you learn too. They don't always work. A lot of times they fail, but that's how you learn different things, how to fix stuff. That doesn't look too bad. All right, let's try that then. Now you want to make sure your paint is really dry. So I'm going to be using markers or Poscas on top. It's kind of doodling actually. What I'm going to do on top of it. Okay, this is see if I can get this off. Yeah, that was just the chalk from the Sorel tracing paper, but it comes right off. So got it anywhere, you can take it right off. I think that's it. Yeah, there. All right, so we can take out our Posca's black I'm going to use, and I have a white one too. Now you could use a dip pen. I have used dip pens on acrylic, and what I find you have to use is Indian ink, and that way it'll adhere properly. But I think most people have Poscas or some type of acrylic paint marker. Whatever you have will do. It doesn't have to be a Posca. This is the fine tip one. And maybe I'll use the bigger one. I'll show you what we're doing. So all of this stuff here is what we're going to be doing, and around the windows and that type of thing. And then we'll put some snow on it. Okay. So just make some limbs, basically. They can be hairy or fancy, whatever you want. I'm going to make mine a little bit thicker. Some areas, just fill them in. Might have to use my paintbrush for filling them in. Doesn't seem to like to fill in. No, it's removing it. Okay, let's do the paint first. So I want a liner brush. Water. Okay. Like that. It's just on the top. Top ones were mainly the thicker ones. I guess it could be considered a tree if you wanted to, or a vine wrapping around a tree maybe. But put your thick ones in first. There's not a whole lot of them. If you don't want thick ones, you don't have to put them in either. It's whatever you want. It's your picture. You could use your liner brush for doing the whole thing if you wanted to. I just find it easier doing it with the Posca. Okay. So, yeah, we'll have some coming out. Oh. Could be viney looking or tree, whatever, it is that you want to do. Um, uh, just have fun with it. So I'm just going to do a bunch of veins. Veins. Kind of do look like veins, but tendrils. Vein, or got veins on my mind now. When you have a vine of some sort, they don't grow typically in a straight line. They usually do have all these squiggles, I guess. And depending on what type of vine it is, some have little suction cups on them that they can adhere themselves to the wherever they're crawling up. I like vines. I think they're cool. I have a ton in my garden. So play with it. Put in as many or as few as you want. That. Then they have all these little, looks like bunch of, I don't know what they are. Guess it could be part of the vine. It's gone crazy. Just all these little, look like swirls. And just these little things all over the place. Some vine there. Just a different futuristic, whimsical, whatever you want to call it. Fantasy landscape. Okay, and then I'm going to use my fine one. Then we have well, it's not exactly, well, it's a little bit finer, but not a whole lot. I was hoping just a bit more fine. But we'll work with it. Just to show a little bit of finer detail. Maybe some branches out here too. Now I would love to use a, well, I could get my, I think I've got my pen down here and get some more finer lines, but we'll see what we can do with this. There's the door, I guess. Window in there. More or less down in here along the bottom of the snow. To the eave. And the windows. I want the windows done. a church shaped window. And these can have some definition. Little windows there. And then the trees. That's funny looking trees. Put some, I don't know. Well, maybe I'll put white ones in there. I'll see. Some more trees in here. I don't know if you're going to see these, but kind of futuristic looking trees. You could put snow on the limbs too, I guess, if you want to. Shadows in here. A few in here. That. Um, that. This is the little lookout tower or whatever. And maybe I'll outline some of the underneath. And here, I'll underline the snowballs in here. Just a few lines. Just along the porch area. To give it a little definition, I guess. Like that. A little more character. Cute. And where did I put it? White gel pen. Any real bright whites you want to put in, you can use that. Maybe right there. And I think I'm just going to outline just on the top of some of these where I think it would be the brightest. Shake it more. So like right in there. Maybe along the edge here. That. And with here, make it a little bit more pronounced. Some of these. Just a little bit of a brighter consistency on very top. So certain areas just seems to brighten that, gives a little more detail. I like it. So always go back. You can put your painting away for a while. Go have coffee, go for a walk, and then come back and take a look and see what you think about it. And you probably see areas that you would brighten. In here, tree would be brighter. Let's put a little bit of snow maybe on the. Let's brighten this up here. More defined. See how it brightens it up? It looks so cool. Just that bit of pop. What else can we do? Oh, we can brighten the. Let's see, where would we have it? A little bit brighter there. I'm not sure if I like those, but I could put black around them, I suppose. Make them look more like a vine thing. That makes them look a little better. And what else? Maybe a little snow on the windowsill. I'm going to put, I don't know. You can go overboard too, so you kind of have to slap your hand every once in a while. Maybe in the wise of the branch, some of these branches here would have snow. Leave it up to you how much you want to put in. But I do want to put in a moon. Or do I? I think I want to put splatter though. Let's get a fan brush out. And lots of water. I want a fairly soupy mix. And they can be big or small. It's dangerous doing this with my computer open. There we go. Now you can take the wet cloth like this one here. Kind of went a little haywire. This one here. Let's take them out and dry it. take a little bit to dry because the big blotches of paint. And I could put a little bit of darker areas in the windows here. I think those are too bright. Maybe a little more shading on the house. This takes a bit. But I like the varying size from that brush. I like that. It's a little more realistic as far as snow is concerned. Not that this picture looks realistic, but might put some more on there. Snow. This would make a cute cover for a book too. Or you could scan it and use it for a card. That would be cute. Okay, good enough for now. That's cute. I like it. Let's see. Maybe just a smidgen of white in here. Maybe on some of these. Just so that they kind of look. I don't know what they are. It's just a futuristic, or I shouldn't say futuristic, fantasy, whimsical creation. Yeah, I like it. And I was going to put a little bit of this color. I think this is too bright. Needs to be darker. In there. Still see the kind of right in here, I think. And around the door. Okay. Let's clean up some areas. That's cute. Yeah, I like that better. Maybe this bit. Just a bit on the door. I think the door is too bright. Yeah. Maybe on the windows. Just a smidge. And leave some. Yeah, that's better. All right, that's good. I like it. I'll make this dark in here. Yeah. And maybe just a bit of this color in here. Oop, too dark. Here. All right, I think I'm done. I like it. Very whimsical. A little different than your typical. Oh, I know what I wanted to try. From the downloadables from my Patreons, and we could use a snowman. We could. We could just put him here. He's a different color, but you could just cut stuff out too if you're wanting to put something else in. You could just glue him on. There's quite a few different ones you could put on there. There's a cute little, if it's whimsical, I could have this cute little, it's a bird/deer. He's like, what? He would be cute. That would look funny. Or, there's a deer, Christmas bells. It doesn't have to be just paint. Well, here's one too. Play with it. Like this would be cute right in here. And it's a little penguin village. an idea. Play with them. See what you can dream up. It's fun. And let me know if you would like more of these. Oh, I can make up some more for you. I like playing with them. I like playing in my daily creative journal with them when I'm writing down stuff, and then I use different washi tapes and all that stuff, and then these work really well with it. So I'll think I just sign it, and then that's it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll give it a try, and you can find it on Patreon or on the YouTube membership, and it's for all levels. And first level starts at $2 a month, and then it goes up with different perks. So I'll let you guys go, and you have a fantastic weekend, and just try and be creative and get out a sketchbook, start sketching. It's a real great stress reliever. You're in your own little world then, and sometimes you have to get away from everything and just be in your own little zone. All right, have a good one, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.